This technique is T.
If it ain't your will, I don't want it. If it ain't your will, if it ain't your will, if it ain't your will, I don't want it. Could you make sense of what I've been through? I know your promises always come through.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching the girlies how to detangle your hair. I feel like so many people dread this part of their wash day because they end up ripping out hair. It's super frustrating. They feel like it takes forever and they feel like they never do it properly and get a ton of breakage. But the method that I'm going to teach you today is perfect if you're trying to cut your detangling time in half, if you want detangling to be a super easy part of your wash day and you want to reduce a ton of breakage. I feel like I finally perfected my detangling routine so that no matter what state my hair is in, it's always a breeze. And today, I'm going to let you in on those secrets. Alright, so if you're interested in learning how to detangle your hair without suffering, make sure if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button for notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily content. And check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting some products to help promote growth. Alright guys, let's get into it. I feel like this is the perfect time to film this video because my hair is in a 2-week-old wash and go. And y'all know that when you do a wash and go on type 4 hair, that is the best time for those tangles to be extra. So this is the perfect setting to prove that my method is accurate regardless of whatever state your hair is in. So there are a few key things that you need to do to make sure that detangling is a breeze. So the first thing is understanding you have to detangle your hair in sections. I don't know who told you guys that if you have tighter hair, you can detangle your hair all in one section or in 2 sections. No, you need to do appropriate sections for your hair type and your hair density. So let me show you guys the sections I do for my hair because it's all very strategic. So I like to obviously separate the front of my hair from the back of my hair. So we are going to be detangling in a side part today because I'm doing a wash and go and I want to keep my side part. But I always tend to do 4 sections in the front. So 2 on each side, but today it'll be 1 and then 1, 2, 3. So this section is all gonna be one side. So I'm just gonna twist this up out of the way. Now, the front of my hair tends to be looser and less coarse and thick than the back of my hair. So I don't have to do as many sections. So we're gonna split this section in 2. All right, so I'm gonna take these 2 sections at the top. I'm just gonna twist them up because I don't have enough clips. And then we have this last section right here. I'm just gonna wrap this around this clip. But we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the front. And the back of my hair is very different. The back of my hair is a lot thicker, a lot coarser. So of course, we're just gonna start by splitting the back in half. And then what I like to do is start off by splitting my hair in half because the bottom of my hair is like the loosest out of my entire head, so it is the easiest to detangle. So the bottom half I can do in one section, but then this top half up here is the thickest, coarsest, densest part of my hair, which means it does take a little bit more effort to detangle, so I like to split the top half into 2 pieces. And that is how I do my sections. So again, everybody's sections will be different depending on your hair. And as you can see, the way that I section my hair isn't all the same around my head. It just depends on what each area of my hair looks like so that I can be super efficient. So I would just suggest kind of playing around with it and seeing what works best for you. But these are the sections that I have been doing for years. And yeah, it's just kind of what I like. So in total, I have about 10 sections. And I know that seems like a lot, but when you section your hair, you actually end up detangling each section faster than if you would have detangled a bigger section. So your detangling actually goes faster, if that makes sense. All right, now we have our sections, let's move on. So the next thing that you need when it comes to detangling super easy is something called slip. So everybody's hair gets tangled and it usually happens for 2 reasons. Number 1, everybody sheds hair. So that means hair just randomly comes out of your scalp. But because you have curly hair or coily hair, that shed hair wraps around the hair still attached to your scalp, which causes tangles. So when you're detangling, that's why hair comes out, because you're just pulling out that shed hair that's wrapping around your hair. But also 2 strands that are attached to your scalp will wrap around each other as well, especially if you have tighter hair texture. It's just kind of what it does. So that's the 2 reasons why we get tangles. What slip does is it softens the hair to allow those pieces to naturally separate, that shed hair to easily fall out, making detangling a lot simpler. So you get slip in 2 ways. The first way is water. So we want to soak our hair in water. Now listen, we don't ration. When I say soak, I mean soak. Now, if you're in the shower, this is gonna be kind of easy because you just run your hair under the water. But for the girlies that don't detangle in the shower, you can just do this. So because I have low porosity hair, I'm gonna spray some water, stop, and work it in, then spray more water, stop and work it in. Otherwise, the water would just sit on my hair and fall off, because that's kind of what low porosity does. Okay. Also, what you're noticing is as I'm kind of working the water in my hair, that shed hair is starting to naturally pull out of my head, which shows you what slip does. It makes it easy for these hairs to come out. All right, there we go. Hair is covered in water. You can tell because I'm starting to get some definition. So the next thing with slip is conditioner. You want to make sure that you are saturating your hair in conditioner. Not like a little dime size amount. I'm talking get a full amount of conditioner and soak your hair. You want to make sure that it's a conditioner that has a lot of slip, that's very hydrating. So for me, you guys already know that I like to use my deep hydration mask from She's Made, which is my hair care line. So this is a deep conditioner. All of our products are multi-use, meaning they're like 2 or 3-in-1 products. So this has enough slips for me to detangle, but it also is something I can let sit in my hair to actually deep condition. So it's 2-in-1, so I don't have to use multiple products. But if you don't have this, or your deep conditioner does not have enough slip, you can just go in with a regular conditioner. All right, so I'm gonna take a decent amount, and I'm going to apply it to my hair. From roots to ends, really working it in there. And look at that, you can already start to see it's easy for me to kind of put my hands through my hair and rake my hand through my hair, because we're getting that slip, because my hair is softening and those tangles are getting softer and easier to pull apart. And as you can see, we're still pulling out shed hair. This would not have happened if my hair was dry. All right, now the last thing that we're gonna do for mega slip is we are going to go in with some sort of heat. So because I have low porosity hair, heat helps my hair to open up and absorb products better, so that I can really get the maximum benefits of the products. So for the deep hydration mask, it's super hydrating and has a ton of slip, but heat helps to kind of enhance that, because I struggle to absorb products on my own because of my hair's porosity. So I'm gonna link this video up here if you guys wanna know whether you have low porosity hair or not. It's a super easy, simple at-home test you can try. But if you don't have low porosity, I would still recommend using heat, but it's not gonna be like as necessary for you. So I'm actually gonna be using my pattern steamer for this. Now, I have a review video, of course, on the steamer. I love it. It's like my OG. But if you don't have a steamer, it's totally fine. You can just, whenever you spray water, make sure the water is warm. That will be sufficient heat for you. Also, if you're in the shower, you can detangle in the shower with that steam, or you just have like a regular steamer that just blows steam like this. You can do all of these steps, just have that steamer on the whole time to warm up your hair. But I would recommend trying some sort of heat if you do the first 2 steps and you still feel like your hair doesn't have enough slip to detangle. So just starting at the ends, I'm just going to work the steamer through my hair just until my hair gets fully warm. So I'm just gonna go through it just like this. And you can see the steamer is easily going through my hair. It's not really getting caught anywhere. And that's because of all that slip that we applied first. And that heat is just helping to further absorb that. Then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of that mask, because when I use this attachment, I'm combing through my hair, so I'm kind of pulling product off of my hair. And so I'm gonna add a little bit more of that product to replace the product that kind of got pulled off, so we can make sure that we maintain that slip. All right, so now our hair is primed and ready to detangle. Now, of course, there are many ways to detangle. You can finger detangle, use a wide tooth comb, use a detangling brush. I have so many videos reviewing detangling brushes. My favorite detangling brush at the moment is the Unbrush. I've had this since 2024. Once I used it, literally no other brush has been able to compare. But I do have review videos on the Tangle Teasers, all of the Tangle Teasers. I used to use the Easy Detangling brush, which is in my videos from like 2023, if you want to go check that out. So I personally feel like a detangling brush nowadays is going to be the most efficient way to detangle your hair. But of course, you can still use your fingers, still use a wide tooth comb if you want. It's really up to you. Just kind of figure out what works best for your hair. But today, we're actually going to be trying a new detangling tool that I saw. Somebody commented and told me that I should try the Flexi brush from the Curl Keeper. So I decided that we're going to try it out. This cost me $19 on Amazon. And I was curious because it looks very similar to the Unbrush, except it kind of is made from more durable material and the bristles aren't as flexible. They're still pretty flexible, but they aren't as flexible as this one. So I'm just curious to see how this is gonna work, so we're gonna try this out. What? I like this. This to me feels like if the Tangle Teaser and the Unbrush had a baby. Okay. All right, but anyways, so as you can see though, that brush went very easily through my hair. I detangled my hair in like less than 10 seconds because of all that slip. But the final step we're gonna do, because this is my deep conditioner, as you guys know, I always add oil to my deep conditioner. So we're gonna be using my essential hair oil from my line. I love this stuff, super lightweight, smells delicious. Just a couple of drops, you don't need a lot. Apply that to the hair from roots to ends. And then we're just gonna twist it up like that. And we're done. Now mind you, this only took me, what, like 2 minutes to detangle this section with me talking and explaining it. So just imagine if I wasn't talking, just sitting in front of a mirror and detangling like regular. That's how quickly. And I've already finished half of this one side of the back. All right, so on to the next section. Now this section, I'm noticing because I do have a wash and go in, my roots are super defined still up here, which might make detangling a little bit difficult if I'm using this size section. So what I do is, I will just split the section in half. And again, I know people think that the more sections you have, the longer it takes, but if you actually say, hey, this section is too big, it's too difficult, what ends up happening is you save yourself a lot of time and stress because you're over here struggling to fully detangle a section that's just simply too big. And this is also where we start to get into that thicker section of my hair. So that's why, I'm just a little bit more intentional with what I do. We're gonna add a little bit more product to my hair of that deep hydration mask just to replace the product that was removed. That's also why I'm not a huge fan of defining brushes, because they'll do the same thing. They'll take product from the roots and concentrate it towards the ends so your roots are puffy. Starting from the ends, we're just gonna work our way through and then go up. And you wanna make sure when you're detangling, you're hitting your roots. Like you see me hitting my roots, right? You wanna make sure, see, because now we have right here, so we stop and we pull down. A lot of people just detangle from like here down, and then you miss your roots and you end up struggling when it's time to style because those roots were never detangled, especially if you shampoo after you detangle like I'm gonna do today. So your roots are still tangled and you're shampooing on top of that, so doing this, and that's just gonna make it worse. All right, let me show you guys another trick that you can do if you're following all these steps and you're like, girl, I'm still struggling to detangle my hair. So we're gonna start with the same process. So saturating our hair in water. And again, I'm saturating my hair in water, working it in, adding more water, working it in. That way my hair is able to absorb water. Then go in with our deep hydration mask. I'm almost out. And I just spilled it. Make sure we're applying a generous amount to fully saturate our hair. And making sure, y'all see me, I am getting my roots. I am not just focusing on mid-shaft to the end. I am focusing on my roots as well. I want slip at the roots all the way to the ends, okay? A lot of people will miss this area. Then I'm gonna take my steamer, like normal, let it heat up. And just work that steamer through there for about 30 seconds. And again, I'm not just focusing on my ends. I am also getting that steam to those roots so my hair can absorb that product up there as well to give me slip. So if you're at this point, you're like, I'm going in with my detangling tool and it's still not working, what I would do is the oil step, instead of doing that at the end, I would add some oil before you start to detangle. Oil helps your hair have so much slip. If you've ever done a hot oil treatment before, which I have a video on, you'll understand what I mean. So I'm gonna take a little bit more oil than I was putting on, and you'll notice instantly as you're applying it to your hair, it's super easy. Like your hair is softening so much. And then we're gonna go in and detangle. And you'll notice this will make like a 10 billion times difference in your hair. Look at that, it's just going through like butter. And this is on a wash and go, you guys. 2 weeks in a wash and go. So my hair is by no means detangled or anything. And again, I'm getting up at my roots. I'm not just detangling my ends. I am making sure that I'm getting those roots, pulling those tangles down, and then working them through the bottom. And then we're just gonna twist her up. All right, there we go. All right, guys, almost done. And like I said, with this method, my hair does not take super long to detangle. And so for the front of my hair, honestly, it's pretty much the same. The only difference is I tend to use a little bit less product. My hair is looser in the front, so my hair is weird. So my kitchen is the absolute loosest, then the second would be the front, and then it would be the crown. So that's kind of how that works. And I just move accordingly to my curl patterns all around my head. And also, a lot of people have been asking me lately if I have heat damage. I know because I've been doing a lot of detangling content on my page, reviewing these detangling brushes, but I only have heat damage in the very front of my hair. And I got it at the beginning of 2024. So if you ever go watch my quickly video, that is when I got it. Because I had done a silk press right before that style. I'm gonna skip the step. And essentially what I did was I silk pressed my hair, washed it, did the quick weave, and so my leave out, which is the part that got heat damaged, I straightened it that day for the quick weave style, and then the next morning I straightened it again, which was stupid. And that's how I ended up getting heat damage. But majority of it is gone. I've just been slowly cutting it off because even though it is damaged, it's not enough that it really affects my styles. Even my wash and goes, it kind of blends in pretty well with all of my hairstyles, so it's not like I have to cut it off for it to look right, which is amazing. Some people, when they get heat damage, the part that's damaged is completely straight. Mine's not like that. It's just gonna be wavier than what my hair texture is. And it's really not that bad unless you look super close. But for me, it doesn't bother me, which is why I'm just cutting it off slowly. But I'm gonna show you guys exactly what that heat damage part looks like. Because when I do these videos, people will see my hair when I like pull it down aesthetically, and they'll see all of my hair straight and think that all of my hair is heat damage. It's just my hair gets stretched in that moment, but then it goes back to like its natural texture. Like as you can see, these twists when I was doing them earlier, they were like down here, but they eventually will revert back. This part of my hair is what's heat damaged, like down here, okay? All of this up here is not. And like I said, I got the heat damage about 2 years ago. So I've grown out like this much of it. So I only have this much left. And every time I cut bangs or something, it does, of course, grow out. But this right here is where the heat damage is, like on this strand. So all of this is hair I've grown in the past 2 years. And this down here is the heat damage. So I guess it's cool in the sense that it helps me to be able to track my progress because I can see how much my hair grows. So we have one more section and then we will finally be done. So I'm all out of my dehydration mask. Thankfully, I have a couple more jars. But I'm gonna let this sit for 30 minutes and then we're gonna come back. Let's go ahead and take out these twists. I don't know why my hair is dripping wet. Usually when I take off my deep conditioning cap, it's not. My hair looks super, super hydrated. By the way, sorry if my face is shinier than usual. I've been dealing with really, really dry skin lately, which lets me know it's time for like my quarterly hydrofacial. But until I can go get one, Vaseline is like the only thing that will prevent me from getting dry patches. It's really crazy. I'm just separating the twists. I'm not leaving them whole. I'm like separating it so it doesn't stay like this. This is the final look. Well, not final look. My hair is fully detangled. And as you can see, that did not take that long to do. My hair looks super soft. It's super hydrated. It's super detangled, and that's gonna make my styling process easier. That's gonna mean I'm not gonna have random mats or knots in my hair. Everything is great. So this method, this technique is T. So regards to this detangling brush, I actually think that I like this brush better than the unbrush. It literally, to me, is the unbrush, just more durable material, which I think works a little bit better. Again, if the unbrush and the Tangle Teaser had a baby, I feel like this would be it. And it costs about the same amount. So I actually think I might make this one my main detangling tool for the next couple of weeks just to see if I really, really like it. But so far, the first impression was very, very good. Well, alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I gave you a lot of good information on how to detangle your hair properly for type 4 hair. If you use this method consistently over time, you will learn how to detangle faster and more efficiently. So it's not something you dread during your wash day. It's something that you just do and it's done. And it's not something that you're stressing about. Detangling is one of the easiest ways to cause immediate breakage. So if you can lock down a good detangling routine, it really goes a long way to giving you better length retention and overall longer hair. If you have any questions, of course, make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer every single one that I see. But if you like this video, you guys, make sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, put your notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily content, and check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting some products to help promote growth. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!